Welcome back to Living in the Word, and today we are looking at the dissension of Aaron and Miriam. So let's begin. Numbers 12 verses 1 to 5. Then Miriam and Aaron spoke against Moses because of the Ethiopian woman whom he had married, for he had married an Ethiopian woman. So they said, "Has the Lord indeed spoken only through Moses? Has he not spoken through us also?" And the Lord heard it. Now the man Moses was very humble, more than all men who were on the face of the earth. Suddenly the Lord said to Moses, Aaron, and Miriam, "Come out, you three, to the tabernacle of meeting." So the three came out. Then the Lord came down in the pillar of cloud and stood in the door of the tabernacle and called Aaron and Miriam, for they both went forward. So here Miriam and Aaron have a problem with Moses marrying an outsider, a non-Israelite. Now, it's not quite clear whether they are talking about Zipporah or whether Moses married another woman. But what is clear is that both Miriam and Aaron are actually challenging Moses' authority, which was given by God. And they're basically saying in this challenge, they're saying, does not God also speak through us? Which I actually can't remember a time where the Lord actually speaks through Aaron and Miriam, so it's quite an odd thing to say. Numbers 12 verses 6 to 9. Then he said, "Hear now my words. If there is a prophet among you, I, the Lord, make myself known to him in a vision. I speak to him in a dream. Not so with my servant Moses. He is faithful in all my house. I speak with him face to face, even plainly and not in dark sayings, and he sees the form of the Lord. Why then were you not afraid to speak against my servant Moses?" So the anger of the Lord was aroused against them, and he departed. So now God clarifies the difference between a prophet like Aaron and Miriam and one like Moses. God speaks to a prophet through dreams and visions, but God speaks to Moses face to face. Here in the scriptures here, verse 6, it says, I make myself known to him in a vision. I speak to him in a dream. He's talking about Aaron and Miriam there. When he goes on to Moses, he says, I speak with him face to face. And he sees the form of the Lord. And he's talking about on Mount Sinai when he actually saw the Lord there. Now it's interesting, God then says, why then were you not afraid to speak against my servant Moses? So there is this fear of the Lord that is all throughout the Bible. And what it is a fear of doing wrong, not so much to like we fear being punished, but it's an honor and respect of God. We don't want to do things wrong because we want to abide by God. We want to do the right thing by God. We'll keep reading. Numbers 12 verses 10 to 16. And when the cloud departed from above the tabernacle, suddenly Miriam became leprous, as white as snow. Then Aaron turned toward Miriam, and there she was, a leper. So Aaron said to Moses, "O my Lord, please do not lay this sin on us, in which we have done foolishly and in which we have sinned. Please do not let her be as one dead, whose flesh is half consumed when he comes out of his mother's womb." So Moses cried out to the Lord, saying, "Please heal her, O God, I pray." Then the Lord said to Moses, "If her father had but spit in her face, would she not be shamed 7 days? Let her be shut out of the camp 7 days, and afterward she may be received again." So Miriam was shut out of the camp 7 days, and the people did not journey till Miriam was brought in again. And afterward the people moved from Hazeroth and camped in the wilderness of Paran. Now Miriam becomes a leper, and it's not really clear why it was just Miriam and not Aaron. Perhaps Miriam was the instigator, maybe, and sort of rallied up Aaron to follow her. It's not really clear, so we won't put too much judgment into it. And then Moses asked God to heal her. Now God instructs Moses to put her outside the camp for 7 days, and this is as per the laws that God has put down. Now Moses was put in charge by God. We don't have a right to challenge someone who has been put in a position of authority by God. Now this includes people who are not necessarily believers. The Bible says that God puts everyone in power. He puts kings in power, even if they're worldly kings. He puts all of them in power. So he has control of all those things. Now, if someone, to challenge that person is to challenge God. So if someone in those positions is not doing the right thing by God, then the right thing to do is to speak in private with them using the scriptures to back your opinion. If I have a problem with something that a pastor has said while they're speaking, or something that a pastor has said to someone, then the right thing for me to do is to go and see them in private and say, look, I didn't quite agree with what you were saying there, and then back up your reason why in the scriptures, not your opinion, but what the Bible says, because the Bible is the only thing that should be backing up what we're saying. If those pastors or if those people are not willing to change, then God will judge them in his timing, not us. God will judge them in his timing. Well, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next video, and God bless.